Welcome to Milk This is Mog Talk, and today let's continue with our Twin Suns tips series. And today let's talk about leaders. So first things first, what are you going to see in this video? We're talking about bad leaders, good leaders, Chancellor Palpatine, of course, best duos, and fun duos. So let's start with the bad leaders, because here I'm going to show you leaders that I know sometimes you can play with just for fun or because you like the leader, but I'm just warning that this leader is not that good how it looks, but it's okay. It's just a format that is for fun, so you can play with if you want to, of course. So we'll have Junior. So just is not that good. This is action. I know sometimes you can defeat a Sentinel with this and be alive, but I don't know. Don't look at ability that is that good for you. We have the Queen Levels, because here you have three opponents. You can only choose one opponent to take this damage, and sometimes you're not even playing a unit that your opponent have the cost or something like that. Don't look that good, like with the Tarkentel in the Premier, right? We have the Lando Calrissian. I don't even need to explain this, right? Because you really don't want to play something with Smuggle and lose a resource to do this, right? And we don't even have that much cards that have a Smuggle to you playing the Twin Suns, right? And we have Dr. Alfred. Of course, she's never playing in the Premier, and she's probably not playing the Twin Suns too, because you only have one copy of each card. So if you discard it, you probably will never get this card back anymore. So yeah, this don't look good, right? And we have a Sage. I know sometimes you can create a deck that is aggro in the Twin Suns, and this can be good, but a Sage I don't think is that good. I will explain later why I don't think Sage is that good. We have Ahsoka Tano. The action only works if you have coordinate, and it's really easy to counter this because you have three opponents, so they can just defeat in your units so you don't use the action, so you will never have the coordinate or something like that. We have Kylo Ren. It's really aggro, and it's the same situation of a Sage, because if you build in aggro deck, but you will see that sometimes it's better. If you already watched my another video about Twin Suns, you will see that healing and Sentinels defensive is better than just create an aggro deck. And Kylo Ren, discard a card from your hand. This is not good because you don't have so much draws in the Twin Suns, okay? IG is the same thing. This is just an aggro deck, and you need to have a lot of units in your board, and sometimes you just don't have because it's really easy to counter this, right? Previously, as I said, we don't have that much draw in Twin Suns because we don't have a lot of cards in Premier that draw, but in Twin Suns we only have one copy of each, so yeah. We have Padme. It's not that good too because as Ahsoka, we have the coordinate here, and it's just easy to counter. And even if we have the coordinate, we only see the three cards of the top to looking for a Republic card, and it's not that often you would do this. It's not that often you would do this. It's not that often you will find a Republic card, because you playing with 80 cards in your deck, and you probably have one copy of Republic in your deck, and you know, right? And we have Hunter. That is probably the worst here, because he reveals resource you control. If it shares a name with a friendly, this is really hard to do this in the Twin Suns. So please don't play Hunter. I know if you like Hunter, you can do something with it just because you wanted to deploy with a 5/8 of okay, but the action here is insane. It's really bad. We have the Harrison Dula. Ignore the spec penalty of expected cards you play. Yeah, we not have that much expected cards now. We will get more in the next set, but even this, it's not like maybe 15. Even with the next set, maybe we will have 15 expected cards or less, or just a little bit more, right? And we have the Hondo, and as I said before, we don't have that much cards with a Smuggle, so it's not that good, right? And we have Finn. I know, defeat a friendly upgraded on a unit, you put a shield. Sometimes can works with some leaders, and I will say this later, but Finn's not that good. Okay, it is a 4/6 deploy. It's not that bad, but this action is not that good. Sometimes you just don't want to lose an upgrade to just put a shield token. And She-Hoot is probably the worst blue leader, because okay, give a +0/+2 Okay, sometimes maybe in the last turn you have a sentinel and another opponent already got defeated, and you can use this to put this in your sentinel that will tank more in the last turn because you're playing the last turn. So, but just this, I don't know, his deploy is not that good. He does do nothing. He's just protect himself, and you don't have that draw to take the upgrade. Sometimes you don't have upgrade to put in shield, so it's not that good. So now let's talk about the good things here. So we have the healing leaders, the draw leaders, the defensive leaders, the ramp leaders, the aggro leaders, and the arm leaders. So yeah, sometimes you have leaders that have more than just one of these, and this means that they're good, right? So let's start here with the healing leaders. We have the Ironverse, of course, that probably is the leader that heal the most with his action, her action, and yeah, you can heal a lot. And in SUNS, every turn a unit probably going to be defeated, so you can heal every turn for one, right? We have that Director Krennic, which is good because he have the deploy that restore 2, and we have the Nala C that can heal when each friendly clone unit gains when defeated, heal to damage from your base. So she can heal when you have clones dying, right? But this only works if you have deployed, so don't make that good, but it's good, right? And of course, Krennic have the restore 2, as I said before, and Adverse have this when an enemy unit is defeated, he won't damage. This is insane. The problem here is that probably your adversary will die in the turn of the deploy, because your opponents need to do something about it, right? Because they don't want you to heal a lot, so yeah. And we have in the hero side, we have the Yoda and Rey. Both leaders just heal when you got deployed, right? So Yoda have restore 2 and Rey have restore 3, which is insane. It's just for 6 resources, right? And let's talk about draw leaders. So we have Yoda and Cassian for the hero side, because any Yoda triggers every turn. Because like I said before, every turn a card got defeated, a unit got defeated or bounced or something like that. So you can use Yoda's action every turn since the turn 2 and 3, because like I said, every time one unit gets defeated, so Yoda looks really good, and you can filter your deck. I know it's not a draw, you're not drawing, putting in your hand, but you can filter your hands, right? Filter your deck. And we have the Cassian, because you can sometimes, yeah, you don't intuition, sometimes you just don't have the curve hand, so you don't play, okay, and have 2 resources, play 2, 3 resources, play 3, 4 resources, play 4. No, sometimes you have 5 resources and you just have a unit that costs 3 or 4 in your hand, so sometimes you can attack and use the actions ability of Cassian. Sometimes you have a card like 5 resources and you have 5 resources cost unit, but you want to draw with Cassian, and draw into SUNS is really good, so this can work. And of course, the deploy side, if you just did damage, you can draw, right? And we'll have Palpatine with the villain side that can draw too, right? You can defeat something and draw. Defensive leaders, so we have Luke Skywalker that can give a shield to your hero units, of course. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, because sometimes you have a lot of sentinels and you can heal the sentinels with Obi-Wan. We have Chewbacca that can give you sentinels, and it is a sentinel like Obi-Wan when you deploy, right? And we have the Mandalorian. Okay, why this is defensive? Because it's more like a temple, because you can put an upgrade or like a bounty in your opponent, or upgrades in your units, and when you do this, you can exhaust units with 4 or less remaining HP, and deploy I think is 6, right? So I put in here Rey. Why? Because we have a lot of sentinels and we can just buff them. So Village Protectors with Rey, if we're playing if we in the turn 3, we can use the Rey's ability and put a token and Village Protect. Now we have a 3/3 shielded sentinel. This is insane, right? We have a 3/7 Bright Hope. We have the 3/5 sentinel, the Protect of the Throne. We have the Concord that can give 2 tokens to it, or we have the Outspoken who can give 3 tokens to it. So yeah, this looks insane, right? And Rey, as I said before, it is a healing leader and is a defensive lead, can be aggro lead because you can use this for attack and some. So yeah, you will see we have leaders that don't apply just for one category, okay? And now go to the villain side. We have Green Emerald Troll. Why is defensive? Because you can use his action to exhaust something, right? So sometimes and in the fun things about Troll and Twin Suns is you see the 4 top cards of the decks because you see for each play, including yours. So sometimes the chance you see something that you will exhaust something is really high, right? So yeah, you can exhaust and do your stuffs. We have Jungle Fed that it can exhaust a lot of things here because if you use a barrage, you can exhaust a lot of units and with different players, right? Looks great. And we have Kira. Why is this defensive? Because you can play a Sentinel, then put a shield on it, so he can tank 2 attacks, right? And we have the General Grievous, which is awesome in Twin Suns, because you can give a droid a Sentinel. And the fun thing here is that droid is not that 1/1 droid. We have a lot of cards that have trait droid that is like 3/5, 4/5, or 4/4, something like that. So we have a lot of droids, so we can give Sentinel to this phase, which is awesome for Grievous in the Twin Suns. Now let's talk about ramp leaders. So we have the both Han Solos for the hero side, and the Han Solo Young, the Han Solo 2, we have this action. So I know it's not a ramp, you're not putting a resource, but you're playing a card that costs more with less resources. So if we're in the turn 5, everyone will have 6 resources. I can play a Luke. I can play a 7 cost unit, right? I can play Luke. I can play Mace Windu. I can play a lot of things. I can play Han Solo unit, right? So yeah, it's kind of ramp. I know it's not a ramp, but it's kind of ramp, right? And Han Solo actually ramps, but you need to discard a card. But yeah, we have a ramp here. You can in the turn 4. And I will show this because this is insane, okay? We have Han Solo, so I use the ability in the turn 4. So I have 5 resources, now I have 6. Then I can deploy. Now I can attack, and now I have 7 resources. So I can play Luke, I can play Han Solo, I can play a lot of things that cost 7, and my opponents only have 5. They playing like Gideon Hask. Okay, I'm playing Han Solo and defeat your Gideon Hask without taking damage. So you can do a lot of stuff with this. Han Solo is insane in Twin Suns. Probably, I would say that it's probably one of the best leaders of Twin Suns or of the hero side. Okay, and not just this, because okay, you play a Luke, you play U-wing, you play Han Solo unit, you play Mace Windu, you play 7 cost cards, right? But you still have the ploy of your other leader, and yeah, we can play like Chewbacca, Yoda, that is the play for 7. So we can do this play with Han Solo, and now we can play a Sentinel that is 2/9 with grit. Next turn, you have 3 opponents. They're probably going to focus you because your board is insane right now. But okay, I'm have a 2/9 Chewbacca, and you need Rival's Fall to defeat the Chewbacca. You need Pearl's Position to do something, because if you don't, I have a great board. I can win the game and maybe in the next 2 turns or something like that. And Yoda is great too, because you can deploy Yoda, you can discard a card for your top, you can defeat something, and you already have Restore 2 in the turn 4, right? This is insane, right? In the next turn you can attack with Han Solo again. You will still have 7 resources because you defeat 2, you have 5, but you have 1 resource to the turn. And now we attack with Han Solo, you go to 7, and you can still play another 7 cost card, and you still have Yoda, you still have Han Solo. This is insane, right? Yeah. So now let's talk about ramp leaders of villain side. We have Boba Fett, and like I said, it's not a ramp, but it feels like, because like I said, every turn a unit leaves play, so you always have like 1 resource more. So you have 4 resources, you spend, and now you have 1 more. So I would say more about this in the best duels. And of course, we have the deploy. So in the deploy, we can play like we have 8 resources, because we have 5. We can spend something, and if your unit leaves play, we ready 1 resource. Then we can deploy and can attack and ready 2 resources. So we really like playing with 8 resources, right? And of course, we have Count Dooku and Newt Gunray, right? Because exploit is like ramp. Because if you have like Count Dooku and you have a droid that the droid is 4/3, if you have Separatist, he enters with ambush. So he's a cost 3. But if you exploit like in a droid, you only play 1 resource. So it's like ramp. I know it's not, but it looks like a ramp. And sometimes you have, in the turn 2, you have 3 resources, you have 2 droids, and you can play a cost 7 unit, because you can exploit for 2, right? This is insane. And Newt Gilray gives you the droids to do this, so it looks like a ramp. And aggro leaders now. And we have, of course, Sabine, because you do 1 damage to each base. So yeah, you would do in all the 4 bases. Okay, this is insane. We have Leia, that of course you can attack with 2 units, and sometimes you can take your opponents by surprise doing this, because they do the math in the last turn, or they're not expecting that this is going to be the last turn. Oh, okay, I attack with two units, I defeat him, and now I heal 5, and now you need to do your stuff, because maybe have more life, and I still have units to attack. So yeah, you can take him by surprise when you attack with 2 surprises, right? With 2 attacks, right? And we have Anakin Skywalker, that is a great leader, because his play is insane, of course. Have overwhelm, have a lot of damage, and you can use this to pass through sentinels. You can use overwhelm units to pass through something, and this is insane, right? We have Mace Windu, that is not that aggro. I think it's a good aggro leader, because it's a 5/8 in the late game, which is awesome. And you can do a lot of damage. I'm not putting aggro just like the Sabine in the Premier. I put in aggro like leaders that put damage, okay? So Mace Windu can defeat something, a lot of units with his action, with his deploy, and kind of stuff. And we have the Bo-Katan that did the same if you're playing with Mandalorian. It's not that good, because yeah, we can only play with each copy, 1 copy of each card, so we don't have that Mandalorian, a lot of Mandalorians in your deck. But yeah, you can do the same as Mace Windu. And we have Boba Fett, can give +1 to your units that have keywords. So yeah, this is a great aggro leader, right? So now about the villain side, we have probably the best aggro leader in the Twin Suns, that is Grand Inquisitor. Sometimes you just combo in the turn 4 and you deal a lot of damage. It's insane. And we have Maul, that gives overwhelm to your cards, which is insane too, right? And we have Darth Vader, and like I said, it's not just the aggro to do damage with units, with the leader too, because you can do 1 damage to a base, right? And 1 damage to a unit, and 1 damage to a base. And like I said before, sometimes you have 1 resourcing or 2 ready, because you play something that you have 6 resources, you only have a 5 cost unit in your hand. So sometimes you only have 1 resource, and you can use his action, right? So yeah. Let's go now. Okay, more aggro leaders. We have Tarkin, which is insane, because you can give +1/+1 to your units with the token. And we have Moff Gideon, that gives you +1 to your cost 3 units. It's not that good like the other ones, but it's an aggro leader. And we have Wat Tambor, that give +2/+2. That can be good, right? You can combo in the turn 4 too, because you can deploy. You can use this action. You can deploy, can attack, then you use this again. And I will say more about this in the duels. So we have the Garsakus, that give +1 to your upgraded units, and we have the Krennic, that give +1 to your damaged units. This is good too, and like I said before, Krennic is a healing card and an aggro one, because give this +1 to your units damage. So yeah. Okay, so let's go to the armor leaders. We only have 2. That is Captain Rex, that gives you this clone, and Newt Gunray, that gives you the droid, right? So now let's talk about Chancellor Palpatine, because Chancellor Palpatine have 2 sides. But yeah, this leader starts the game with the side face up of the hero side, of course. So you can only play with hero leaders. So yeah, you can't play with the Chancellor Palpatine hero and villain on another villain leader. Okay, you always need to start the game with 2 hero leaders. So this is insane, because he have the 4 categories here, because he have the healing. He's a healing leader, because he can heal for 2 when you flip, and he's an aggro leader, because when you flip, when you're in the villain side and you flip, you do 2 damage in each base. So yeah, you do 2 damage into 3 other bases, not yours, like Sabine. So this is insane, for instance, right? And it is an armor leader, because when you're in the villain side and then you flip, you create a clone token. And it is a draw too, because when you're in the hero side, when you flip, you heal and you draw a card. So yeah, he have the 4 categories. Oh, I know you don't have the deploy leader, but trust me, this card is really good, because this makes you play with you have a whole another world of cards, right? Because now you can play with hero and villain cards in your deck. So this is really good. You can play with the best of two worlds, right? And the only thing here, as I said, doesn't have the four categories of the leaders, so just don't have the ramp leaders and the defensive leaders. So why we don't play with like ramp leaders like Han Solo? Because it is another yellow. So in the Twin Suns, it's not that good playing two double colors like yellow with maybe blue or something like that. Because I know you can play Cunning, you can play Cantina Bouncer, Bodhi Rook, something like that, but it's not that good. You only have one cope in the deck, and when you do this, you're taking a lot of range out of your deck building because you can't play with a lot of colors, so don't look that good, right? And Han Solo 2, why? If you watch the first video of Twin Suns, when I explain everything about Twin Suns and give some tips, you will see that I personally don't like to play red, yellow with another color like green or blue. I rather play blue, green with something else. So because blue and green have the heal, have the sentinel, have a lot of stuff like this. So if you play red and yellow, you're taking out or blue or green, so that's not that good. But if you like, you can play with. I personally don't like. And the best leader to me that I tested this in my local Twin Suns meta, and I like it a lot, Yoda, because you already draw a card with Chancellor Palpatine, and you can draw with Yoda too. And draw into Suns is insane because you can filter your hand, you can draw a lot of stuff. So yeah, you only have one copy of each card in your deck, so this makes you draw cards that you like more often, cards that you want more often. So I really like this. It is a leader for late game, of course, and sometimes you can find the ramp cards because now we have the villain and the hero side. So you can play resupply, we can play to place technician, we can play the upgrade that when you defeat it you can ramp. And you can play the Spark of Hope. So you have 4 cards in your deck that you can ramp, and if you draw cards, you can find this more often, right? So let's talk about best duels. So we have here Chancellor Palpatine and Yoda, like I said. We have the Han Solo and Chewbacca. This is my favorite deck. I created this in like last month, I think. And we played it. It is insane. And I showed this in the last video when I have 8. I did this one time and I have 9 units in the turn 4 because I played with that 24 based green that when you deploy a leader you create 2 droids. So in the turn 4 I have 5 resources, then there's a Soul's ability, I deploy, create 2 droids. I attack, now I have 7, I can play Chewbacca, deploy Chewbacca, now I create more 2 droids. So just this is 6 units, right? But I still have 2 units or 3 units from the other turns. So yeah, this is insane. And I can still play something that costs 7, right? So this is huge. And like I said, Han Solo is probably one of the best cards, and you can play with Yoda too to draw cards, so you can filter your hand and trying to find stuffs, and you can use Han Solo, deploy Yoda. Now you have Restore 2, you can defeat something with Yoda's deploy, of course. And of course we have Rey that is really good. I really like Rey in Twin Suns because sometimes you can, like I said, sometimes you spend your resources and you rest only one ready, so you can fix this using the Rey's ability to give in 1/1 to a unit, which is awesome. And she have a Restore 3, so you can use Han Solo, now you can deploy both leaders, and now you have a Restore 3 leader. This is insane, right? It's turn 4. And Boba Fett and Fennec, this is awesome. I saw a player doing this here in Brasilia. And Fennec made your units play with Ambush, so now if they have Ambush, you can trigger Boba Fett. That gives the +1 if they have a keyword, and now have Ambush. So yeah, that's a keyword, so you can combo with this. This looks really good. But yeah, you can play with the red base to maybe be the really aggro deck, or you can just play with blue to have more sentinels, to have more healing cards, right? And I have Boba Fett and Anakin, and I really want to try this deck because with Boba Fett you can have like a lot of overwhelm cards. Units because have the keyword, and so you give +1, then you can use Anakin Skywalker to give +2 and pass through something, defeat some unit, and pass damage because it is an overwhelm unit, right? This looks awesome. Okay, so we have Mandalorian and Bo-Katan, because in Bo-Katan Kryze in deck in the Premier we have a deck with a lot of upgrades, because we have a lot of Mandalorians. So with the Mandalorian we can do this too. We can use our upgrades to exhaust something, and when we can create a big unit or something like that, right? We have the Obi-Wan and Anakin. This is good because you can use the Anakin's ability in your unit to defeat something. Then your unit is not dead, but it got damaged, and Obi-Wan can heal this, right? We have probably the best villain combo, I think, that is Grand Inquisitor and Director Krennic. This is insane, because you can deploy Krennic in the turn 4, which is awesome, because you have a resource in turn 4 with a leader 2/7. So okay, you deploy Krennic, you attack for 2, now you restore 2, but you can use Krennic's action, the Inquisitor's action, and your Krennic. Now you have a 3/5 Krennic, because the ability triggers in him, the Krennic's ability triggers. So he gets the +1, right? So you can attack for 3 again and restore 2 again. But if you do this in the next turn, you can do this 3 times, because you can, okay, attack with Krennic, use Inquisitor's ability, attack with Krennic again, deploy Inquisitor, attack with Inquisitor, put in the damage in the Krennic, then attack with Krennic again. So yeah, you can heal a lot, right? This combo is insane. And we'll have the Grand Inquisitor with Wat Tambor. This deck I really want to try, and maybe I will play this week. So yeah, what we can do here? We can attack with a unit. We can use the Grand Inquisitor ability to ready again. Then we can use the Wat Tambor's ability if a unit of ours got defeated. Give him +2/+2. Then we can deploy Tambor. We can attack with Tambor. Give him +2/+2 to this unit and attack with this unit. Or we can use the Inquisitor's ability in the Wat Tambor to attack and buff again, or kind of stuff, okay? We can do this. So yeah, and then the deploy looks really good too, because Inquisitor can ping the damage again and do a lot of stuff, right? We have the Gar Saxon Tarkin. This deck is insane too, because Tarkin gives the Spirit token to your Imperial units, and give him +1 with Gar Saxon, which is awesome, right? We have the Maul Tambor. I think this deck can be good, because like I said, you can give +2/+2, +2/+2 again with the deploy, so giving +4/+4, and you can attack with this unit, giving Overwhelm, passing through a lot of Sentinels, right? We have Grievous and Newt Gunray, because Newt creates the droids for you, and Grievous transforms this droid in a Sentinel. So this works a lot. We have the Boba Fett Kira, because now we're talking about a lot of duels with Boba Fett, because like I said before, an enemy unit always lives play in the Twin Suns, so you can pretend like you're playing with 1 resource more every turn. So if you have 5 resources, you can play a 5 cost, and another unit just lives play, you can use the Boba's ability. Now you have 1 resource ready. Then you can play, use your action of your another leader. So like Kira, so you can play something that costs 5. You only have 5 resources, so you can't use Kira's ability, but something else lives play. Now you can exhaust. Now you can ready a resource. Then use Kira's ability and put a shield in that unit. Or you can do this with Palpatine to defeat something, draw a card, put a damage. Or you can do this with Darth Vader to put a damage in the base, put a damage in something else. So you can do this with a lot of leaders, right? That they have action for 1. Like Tarkin too, because yeah, this is insane, right? So we have Count Dooku and Newt Gunray. This deck is really good too, because Gunray gives you the droids, and the Dooku make the exploit in that droid, which is insane, right? So now let's start talking about fun duels. I know it's not that good, but can works and can be really fun to play. So we have Sabine and Leia. Why not the aggro decks of the set 1, right? You can do a lot of damage, you can surprise your opponent and do a lot of stuff, right? We have Finn and Rey, because you can give the experience token with Rey, then you can destroy the experience token to give a shield to this unit with Finn. But like I said, it's not that good, because you're playing with 2 blue leaders, so yeah, you're losing a lot of cards that you can play without other color, right? And I don't show here, but we have the Rey Sabine, which is great because you can deploy Sabine in turn 3, then give a express token to her with with Ray, right? So now she's at 3-6. So yeah, this can be good. We have on solo Obi-Wans, because you can ramp, like I said before, you can play units that cost more, now costing less, but you put it to damage, and Obi-Wan can fix this, heal on the card. This can works too. And I don't think it's that bad, but I don't think it's the best duels, because I don't know, you could just do this, right? You don't draw, you don't do more stuff. And of course we have the 2 ramps, so yeah, you can play like in turn 4 we can have 7 resources. Now we can play cost 8 card like a redemption, like another, I don't know, we need to see every 8 costs that we have, but we can play a lot of cards 2 turns earlier, right, with this combo. And actually we can 3 turns earlier with the Han Solo deploy and the ability, right? We have Captain Rex and Palpatine to, if you want to create a lot of clone tokens, but I would say that this probably would not work a lot, but can works, right? Because you can use the Captain Rex action to create a token. You can create a token with the villain side of Palpatine when you flip or something like that, right? We have the Cassian and Yoda. This probably is the deck that you would draw a lot, because you can filter your deck with, filter your hand with Yoda, and with Cassian you can draw, so can works. And we have the Han Solo Mace Window, because I just showed before, when you do the Han Solo combo in the turn 4, you deploy and attack, and now we have 7 resources, you can deploy a little that have deploy 7. And Mace Window do this, so yeah, you can play Mace Window in turn 4, do 2 damage in every that got damage. And now you have a 5-8 in turn 4, right? This is awesome. And we have Garsox and Kira. This game works too, because Garson gives +1 to your friendly upgraded unit, and Kira gives an upgrade that is shield. So this can work, but it's just blue, like I said before, so you're playing just with 2 colors, so yeah. And Dirk Krennic with Kira can work too, because you give a shield and now gets +1 because it's damaged. We have Grand Inquisitor and Troll, because in the turn 5 with 6 resources, if you deploy Troll, you can attack and exhaust something. You can use the Inquisitor's ability, attack and exhaust something again, then you can apply, attack and exhaust something again. So yeah, this looks just fun. I don't think this can work a lot, but it's fun. You can exhaust something, and in the late game you can exhaust a lot of cards. We have Previsla and Darth Vader to deal a lot of damage in the opponent's units, because you can use Darth Vader's ability to put a 1 damage in the base and 1 in the unit, and if you have the draw cards, you can draw and use the Previsla ability to do this, right? We'll have the Bosk Jabba the Hutt, because Jabba put a bounty in the units, and Bosk put the damage in the units, so yeah, this can work too. And this is it, guys. What are you guys thinking about this? All these leaders. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just my second video of Twin Suns. I'm pretending to have to rack a lot of videos. I already have one that is tips for vigilance cards that you can play in your deck and kind of stuff, leaders and all that other stuff. So yeah, please like the video, subscribe if you like the content, and see you in the next video.